This week I'm going to show you how to paint reflected light on water. This was another night scene I did with reflected moonlight. Basically, I think I used three colors here: French ultramarine and burnt sienna and raw sienna. Then this is a slightly lighter evening scene, and I'm going to show you this is a different technique I used to the other two on how to get this reflected light on the water. The important thing with all three of these, if you notice, what makes the reflected light stand out is the dark against light. And in all types of painting, whether it's watercolor, acrylics, oils, you'll hear artists talk about dark against light and light against dark, and that's what makes the light pop when you have dark against light. That's something to always remember. You want your dark areas around the light areas. Let me show you how to do this. I've already painted in the sky here to save time. I'm going to take some of the same sky colors that I used, and we're going to paint in the sea. Now let's see, the light is here, there's a little bit here, so we want most of the light here reflected here, and so I would say I don't want to do it directly in the center because you should never do that, but I'm going to do it slightly to the left. So you take, this is a round brush, and I've filled it with paint, and we're going to hold it flat like this and go sideways towards that light area. Let's leave some open space, and you want to leave some sparkly bits, but not too much, because you don't want the eye going here and here and there. You want the eye to be focused on this light area, and I'm going to do this all the way down. We can always fill in some of the sparkly bits if we've got too much. And I'm just mixing paint as I go on the paper, and just remember as the water gets closer to you, it's darker, and kind of like that right now. Do a little bit of, you've got to do it very lightly, just practice. It's better to do it lightly and have too many sparkly areas than doing too much to start off with, because then you can't fix it. You have to start over. So I'm just making sure that that I don't fill it in too much to start off with. So see what the lovely sort of light effects you get. And that's a little too open, so I'll just put a little bit of very light touch on the paper. And this is cold pressed paper, and it's the texture of the paper that will create your nice light reflections. So I'm looking at this now, and maybe I've got too much sparklies here, and I want to close them up a little bit and have fewer on the side so that the eye goes more to the ones in the middle. And notice I've left a little bit of a white space in that between on the horizon, because that actually gives it a nice effect too. And I want to close in some of these sparkly bits here, keep the sides more or less filled in mostly, and so you can play with it once you've got your little sparkles. I kind of sort of liking where it is right now, and I don't want to do too much more to that. Maybe a bit more here. Just touches, because you don't want it pure white in the middle. You want, I like that. I think I wouldn't do any more than that. If you were doing this as a finished painting, you could do a boat, you could do some rocks, you could do a beach. This is one way to paint a moonlight reflected on the sea. In this painting, I used a totally different technique, and I'm going to try and show that to you now with just a piece of rough 5x7 paper. And this is just a 5x7 piece of scrap paper, and I just very quickly painted in some ocean and sky, and I wanted to show you again how another way to create sparkly bits on the water. So I've taken a rough piece of sandpaper. This is 60 grade. You can do it even rougher, and basically we can start here, and you just have to be very careful. So we want the light sort of here, and I just go sideways, and this is how I created the sparkly bits in that painting with the red sky. So you wait for the painting to dry, and you can just keep working on this. Make sure you try to keep your lines as straight as possible. You don't want to make them all the same size. And so maybe make this one a little bit wider here. But you see, you can just play with that, and you can do a couple of sparkly bits here and there. Trying to keep them a bit straight, because they tend to look a little more realistic when they are. You can just do this, or you could take a sharp knife and scrape out some sparkles. And that's just another way that you can create sparkles in your watercolor painting. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again next week.